Just do it.
Hi there. I trust those of you that have been watching have been enjoying the Jackie Chanuary countdown so far. I'm Leon, the less pretty off of HKB, and if this is your first video, please hop back to, because during the month of Jackie Chanuary, I'm covering my top 25 Jackie Chan films of all time. Video 1, I started with a rundown of 25 to 21, and then in part 2, it was 20 to 16. And today's video will be 15 down to 11. If this is your first time to the channel, a very warm welcome. We're so glad to have you with us. And to all returning viewers, welcome back. So yes, just a few quick words about the channel. We would like to grow it, we'd like to expand it. In order to do so, we need one little thing from the viewers, which is a like. That makes us show up in searches a heck of a lot more than what we do now. So if you could do that, if you enjoyed this video, if you can let us know, that'd be great. Also, I'd just like to point out to anybody hopping in at this stage that this isn't me saying these are the 25 best Jackie Chan films ever. They are just my Jackie Chan films of preference. It's my own personal 25 list. So I expect everybody to disagree a little bit or big bit, I don't know, whichever. But please drop comments below and let me know what your favourites are, because I really like to find out what everybody else likes too. It makes for interesting conversation. So without any further delay, let's continue the countdown and find out what fulfills numbers 15 to 11. So coming in at number 15 is a classic Jackie Chan kung fu movie directed by Jackie Chan. I think this is the film that gave him the springboard that made him go on to conquer the US. This film, of course, is Drunken Master 2. I love Drunken Master 2. The martial arts sequences with Jackie and also with Lau Kar Leung are absolutely amazing in this film. There's some absolutely standout fight sequences, and there is a very, very good end fight in this film where Jackie fights his bodyguard in real life, Ken Lo. That fight scene by itself elevates this film to the higher echelon of Jackie's kung fu films, but the whole film having T. Lung and Anita Mui as his father and mother, absolute genius casting, and all the supporting actors really put in 100% in this. But I feel like Jackie was making a statement with this. It was kind of his last proper kung fu movie. In fact, I say it is his last proper kung fu movie, and it feels like he got all the tools out the toolbox, and he just made one hell of a kung fu movie. I mean, how do you top this? But what makes it so good? I think it's the pacing. I think it's how he takes the drunken style that little bit further. During the fight, Jackie drinks industrial level alcohol, and it like propels him into some sort of Superman of kung fu. And you really get that feel. You get the feel of the danger with the setup and that fight scene with Jackie going across all the hot coals and everything. So that occupies my number 15 spot, Drunken Master 2. Classic Jackie, classic kung fu. Moving on to my selection for position 14. We have another Jackie Chan epic film. This is a 90s film, and Jackie really went on a huge scale for this one. It was a sequel to another Jackie film that was a masterpiece and nearly killed him. So that's right, this one is Operation Condor. What Jackie pulled off with this was incredible. The sets that he built, he actually imported sand from the Sahara Desert for the sets, and the scale of the stunts and the choreography for the fights, it's up there with some of the best stuff that Jackie's ever done. And as you can see in the outtakes of this film, he had some serious injuries on this one, but it's hardly surprising seeing the level that he set for himself to achieve in this. The bar was placed quite high. This was one of the biggest epics that had ever been made in Hong Kong at the time it was filmed. And it's got a wonderful cast in it as well. You got some great villains in there. We have Vincent Lin in there as one of Jackie's enemies. We have the absolutely lovely, gorgeous Dodo Chang, which a young Leon was very happy to see her in this film. And yeah, it's just magic all the way through. The soundtrack, the pacing, the stunts, the locations, some absolutely beautiful locations in this. And some of the stunts, like the sphering at the beginning of the film, and the sort of parachute with the rotor blades on the back. There's so much to enjoy in Operation Condor. It's a really easy Jackie film to get into, and if you're going to put on one for a friend to try and get him into Jackie Chan films, then I would say perhaps consider Operation Condor, which is my number 14 pick. Let's move on, shall we, and see what occupies my number 13 slot. This film is one that's directed by Jackie as well, but it's a little bit earlier in his career, and it's kind of notorious or infamous for the amount of takes to get one shot. Apparently this one shot within the film took 2,900 takes to get it right, or at least some sources claim that. This film is of course Dragon Lord. Now I really like this film. It's got a great villain in it, Wong In-sik, and we have Jackie paired off with one of his stunt team members, Mars, very familiar face, also turns up in Police Story. And I always liked the pairing of Jackie and Mars, and I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get any more of that, because they kind of bounce off each other really well. What I like about Dragon Lord is, as well as being a kung fu setting, we have a good amount of Jackie's humour in there. There's some really great comic gags in Dragon Lord, and some sport scenes, if you like, some absolutely crazy sport scenes, which, you know, Jackie was really trying new things. He was really pushing the envelope after Young Master, and he must have drove the crew absolutely wild, just keep doing take after take after take. But for me personally, it gives me one of my favourite Jackie Chan films. I love the actress that plays Alice in it as well. We have some familiar faces in there, like Michael Chan Wyman. He plays a good part as Tiger in this. We also have some familiar faces like Tai Bell and Fung Fung. So followers of Hong Kong cinema will recognise those faces. And I'd just like to say that Dragon Lord was one of the VHSs that I had that I watched over and over and over again. There was something in it that appealed to me then, and now it's got a lovely new release courtesy of 88 Films. I've fallen in love with it all over again, and that is my number 13 slot, the amazing Dragon Lord. Coming in at position 12 is a film from 1978. It's a film that kind of cemented Jackie Chan as a superstar. It's directed by Yuen Wu-ping. It has Simon Yuen in it, and it also has the very comedic Dean Sheck. Have you guessed what it is yet? That's right, it is Drunken Master. Who didn't love Drunken Master? Such a good film. When it comes to Jackie doing kung fu, this is one of his very best. The imagination in this is absolutely incredible. Jackie puts out some of the best shapes that he's ever done in his kung fu ever, and his physique, the shape he was in back then, he was incredible. And he created that character, that sort of cocky but not as good as he thinks, but has a heart. So usually everybody in kung fu films back then, they were like the Superman, they could kick everybody's ass. But you were never sure of that in Jackie Chan films at this time. After he got past the low way and he did Snake and Eagle Shadow and Drunken Master, there was a question of doubt. So it made the fight scene a bit more interesting, because you weren't 100% sure that he was going to win that fight. And even when he did win the fight, you weren't sure he won the fight, because he takes such a beating on the way to victory. And Drunken Master with Jackie paired with Simon Yuen, it was just magic. Everybody loved that. My father loved that. Simon Yeun, Jackie Chan, it just worked. There was something incredible in that chemistry between the two of them. It blows my mind every time I watch it, even still to this day. The pacing of it, the moves they pull off, and the length of it, it's incredible. There's so much to love in Drunken Master, and if you have a friend that likes Kung Fu movies and somehow has missed this one, I urge you to urge them to watch this one. That is my number 12 position, Drunken Master. So my final slot for today's video is slot number 11. I wonder if any of you are curious out there, how many of you are going to think I'm a little bit crazy for putting this one at number 11 above Drunken Master. But we all have our own favourites, and even though number 11 is a sequel, it's a film that I absolutely adore. I think it's highly underrated. It's from Jackie's 80s period, and it is the sequel to Project A. It is, of course, Project A Part 2. This film is an absolute joy. The pacing, the running, fighting, I love Jackie when he's doing the running, fighting, escaping, running, jumping, and there is so much running, jumping, fighting in Project A Part 2, possibly more than any other Jackie Chan film. Some of the fights, like when he drops down the scaffolding, it's just incredible. And the use of the chilies at the end when he's fighting Johnny Chang, absolutely brilliant. You know, there's the pirates, the chase scene where he's handcuffed to the other guy and he's hampering him all the way along. The humour in that, it's just hilarious, no matter who you are. I can remember putting it on for friends, and they wouldn't really be into these films, but they would see that chase sequence and they would laugh, and then they would sit down and then they would start watching it. And I think Project A Part 2 is an unsung champion of Jackie Chan films. I really do love this film. You got, of course, in there Rosamund Kwan and Maggie Cheung, and having those two wonderful ladies of Hong Kong cinema, two magnificent actresses, it really does boost this film. They really add to what's going on, and there's some really lavish set pieces in this too, you know, with some really good visual humor, like when Jackie Chan's at a kind of ball or party and he's trying to hide in this room, and there's all these paintings, like really old-fashioned style paintings, and he keeps putting his face just in front of the painting in a spot so it looks like he's part of the painting. Absolutely magnificent. The music, the soundtrack, the supporting cast, the other policeman in it, the one that ends up singing a Tarzan song, I can't remember his name at the minute, but boy, is Project A Part 2 one heck of a blast of a movie. If you need a pick-me-up and you want a Jackie fix, then I'd say, if you haven't watched it in a long time, put Project A2 back on, because it really is a great time. So that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you've been enjoying the rundown so far. If you have, you could do me a solid by giving us a thumbs up, and we hope you've enjoyed this series, and we hope to see you on the next one, which will be out next Wednesday. I'll see you all then. Catch you on the next one.